All right, this is Jerry Fitzwater, and I am here with two dangerous men. I mean, we have the Grim Reaper and your newly acquired manager, Don-Tony. And now, this is... I gotta ask you, are you nervous? You're facing Jason Static tonight in your match with Jason Static. Are you nervous?
Listen, I didn't bring my stupid dictionary with me, so I'm not even going to answer that question. He beat him the last show. Why would he not want to face him again? Beat him again. What are you stupid?
There's your son. Next head. Let me explain something. Who is in charge of this federation that will book another match between me and some scrub that I beat the crap out of, left him in the ring, cannolis all in his face? Let me tell you something. You're not Vincent McMahon. You can't do this. Let me tell you something, Jay Static. You could do all the push-ups in the world, you could do all the sit-ups, or whatever extra activity they do in Gold's Gym. Let me explain something to you. I'm a natural killer, all right? I'm here to kill you. I'm taking you out. There's gonna be no more Jay Static in VPW. There should be no more weirdo, creepo-looking punks like you. I got my man right here. We got the power.
HBOZ, baby.
It's over with, Static. You understand? Explain something. If you talk like that again to me, you're gonna get slapped. I want to hear your normal voice. I want to hear your
This is my normal voice,
okay.
and I have my degree in journalism.
Let me tell you something where we come from. When we come from, we don't just whack someone, we disfigure them. So Jason, you're stupid enough to accept the challenge again. Next time, we're going to disfigure you.
HBOZ.
all day, every day.
That's right. Cosa Nostra has just begun.
All right, well,
Bye-bye.
there you have it. All right, that's not necessary. Come on now.
Tu madre faccia la carne.
Oh, come on now. I don't know what he said, but it sounded pretty devious. Jerry Fitzwater. Hey!
Every Thursday night, you ask the questions, DT gives you his answers. No holds barred.
It's Q&A with Don-Tony. This is your chance to speak your mind and be heard about anything.
Q&A with Don-Tony. And now, your host, Don-Tony.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Don-Tony here.
Don't ask me where that came from. That was at the very beginning of yours truly going to wrestling school. I tell you, I got to be honest with you. I look back on it. I don't think it was as bad as everybody painted it out to be. You know, I would react and, Reefa would say something. I'd come right back with a... There was no rehearsing. There was no promo school. I just tried to make it as realistic as possible. But,
Hey, everybody.
no, that really wasn't Kermit.
That was just making fun of his voice. That's not really Kermit.
This is Kermit.
Kermit the Frog here. You're listening to Q&A with Don-Tony.
Can't do it today. Can't do it today. Been on the phone all day at the office. Oh! The new and improved. New and improved. We changed some of the numbers. I was watching, what was that? No whammies. No press your luck the other day, and you go, no whammies, stop, and it would go like 500 in a spin. Well, on here, it's $10 in a spin. There we go. $10 in a spin. $5 in a spin. So later on, someone will have their choice of either the wheel or the balls. I'll leave it up to them. So that's for later. That's for later. Shout out to Jeloni Lyons. Jeloni Lyons is way back in the times. Way back in the times. But shout out to him. Shout out to everybody tuning in live. I hope everybody's doing great tonight. Thursday, look, all the shows, I say it every week, all the shows are yours. But Thursdays especially, because I basically just sit back and whatever you feel like talking about, we'll talk about. I got the contest here. And a little update from yesterday I wanted to share with some of you out there. We're going to have a fun night tonight. Got some, I got a lot of DMs and emails over the last couple of days. DT, put a little more of that indie wrestle crap stuff that I used to do. Enough people asked for it, so I decided to do it again tonight. Tonight, a special treat for everyone out there. Number one, you will see yours truly get beat up probably more than anything else, with the exception of Lowlife Louie cracking a bottle over my head, smashing a chair over my head, putting me through a table with 500 thumbtacks. That was the worst as far as like consistent pain. But what you're going to see later on, I took a little beating that night. That guy, Jason Static, I told him, I said, don't hold back. Just give it to me. Don't worry about it. And you'll see that chair shot that had me vomiting all night long. At home, not on video. Also, now, unfortunately, I'm not going to play the entire 2-hour wrestling event, 2.5-hour wrestling event from that night. So you're not going to see the servants throughout the night serving soda and drinks. But that story that I have told for 15 years, that my 7-year-old nieces at the time, 6 and 7, turned heel. My 2 little nieces turned heel that night. I had the whole, you know the story. It was my idea that I would have one side of the arena, the Knights of Columbus, taped off, and that side was all family and friends of yours truly. And I served them food, and I served them drinks, and everybody else in the building watched them eat all night long. I'd be honest with you, to this day, I am shocked beyond belief that my brother went along with it, that all the co-workers in my father's deli went along with it, that a couple of my TLC livery guys who are Jamaican and didn't even know what pro wrestling was, they went for it. Just my brother's wife, who doesn't know anything about wrestling, and they brought their 6 and 7-year-old daughters to this event, my nieces. And they're all sitting on, you'll see my brother tonight. You'll see the heroes being passed around. You'll see some of it. Didn't cost me that much, Sam. Honestly, it cost me happiness. Happiness is what the price was. I mean, I look back on it with fond memories, and I tell you, the more I think about it, the angrier I get that I allowed anybody to hold me back. Whether it's doing this stuff, whether it's indie wrestling stuff, whether it's anything in life, anything. My office, certain things in my personal life. Take my advice. Trust me. Don't fall into the same shit that I did. Because now I'm getting much older, and obviously I can't do the things that I did 15 years ago. My mind thinks so. The painkillers think so. But I don't know. I'm going to give it a shot. But do not hold yourself back for others. Because what's going to happen is 5, 10, 15 years are going to go by, and you're going to realize you held yourself back for others. And even if you would have went balls forward, full steam ahead, they still would have been far behind. Don't let anybody make you far behind. No matter who it is, family, relationship, friends, business, man, pisses me off. That clip, that was 2007. So it was about 14 years ago. So, but good evening. Oh, wait a minute. This show cannot be complete tonight unless we do this and this. There we go. That's more like it. Dominic Mcglynn. My dad is okay. I actually have to take him to another doctor tomorrow around 1 o'clock. So, he's undergoing some more tests. One thing that we're really, really thankful for is that they did not put a pacemaker in him. That was one of the things that we were really, really, really nervous about, because my mom has a pacemaker, and she goes through tremendous, tremendous bullshit because of it. You know, always having to run tests, always having to do this, always having to do that. And my father, when he went into the hospital, he said, I ain't getting no fucking pacemaker. Well, if it's going to save his life, he would have gotten one. But thank God he didn't have to get one. But we got to make sure everything is cool in the gang. So tomorrow I take him to the doctor and then, you know, probably spend the weekend with them as well. No wrestling pay-per-views this weekend. I know we got TNA Sacrifice, you know, but there's only so many hours in the day. And honestly, there's only so many dollars in the pocket. Ones and Motores was going on. Ryan Weller. Shout out. Some roll call: Michael Gonzalez, Ted Turner, Sam, Nathan, Rita, Austin Nance, Mr. Mike. I think Lee is tuning in. Dominic Mcglynn. Thank you again, my friend. Roger Rubio. Oh, yeah, we're going to have a good show tonight. I don't know if it's going to be as long as the other ones. We're going to just get right to the point. Have some great convo. Show a little bit of wrestling. I don't know if you guys saw this teaser on YouTube, but I will show you another little teaser from that night really quick. Just pay attention to me with the sandwich and my mouth. So you're going to have to forgive me for a minute while I take this off and I put this here and I do this. All right, get ready. Look, watch. I spit right in his face. Spit sandwich right in his face. Sandwich!
In the face of Jason Static. That is disgusting. I want to get me a piece of that sandwich.
Oh, man. They gave me so much freedom, man. They took good care. Look, seriously, on DVD art, come on. That doesn't get any better. I got like a box set of artwork with that I'm on. It's why I'm so I'm not depressed, but you only live life once. And I look back and I'm like, motherfucker, I should not have let these people hold me back. Whatever did I do? But yeah, I put that on the Twitter feed early today as a little teaser. But, you know, we'll have some fun tonight. You'll see a good match also. Forget my stuff for a minute. The match between Reefer and Jason Static was pretty damn good. In fact, you know what? We'll let people trickle in for a few minutes, maybe in like 10, 15 minutes. I'll show you the first part of it, and then later on I'll show you the second part of it. And we'll do the contest as well. By the way, I'm not going to lie, I was going to give this away tonight, but I got tied up with work so bad that I didn't have a chance to like scan the picture, put it online, hype it up, but it's in the plastic, so it might look a little shiny. Believe me, it's just for protection. But next week on this show, we're going to give away this. This is the Raw magazine. This is before Matt, Jeff, Edge, and Christian. They were really starting to peak with the TLC, and it's autographed by all four. And it is JSA authenticated. You can see the authentication there. So if you go on their website, you'll see. So somebody, and you know what? If you win next week and you don't want that, you could get the wheel or the balls. You don't have to take this. If you want cash instead, that's fine. But that's what we're giving away next week. I almost pulled out the Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit autograph stuff. We'll wait. Ultimate Warrior, we'll wait. We got plenty of time. So, but yeah, so that's signed by Edge, Christian, Matt Hardy, and Jeff Hardy. So, anyway, what's on everybody's mind? Should we just get into the ratings from yesterday? I guess we could bring that up really quick. The ratings. I said it yesterday that I didn't think NXT was going to win. But because I liked the show that much more last night than AEW, I honestly wanted to predict that they won. And my prediction yesterday was that NXT was going to win in the ratings. Now, if you look at it, I was only within 10,000 of the AEW rating. But the NXT rating, surprisingly, look, you hype up Finn Balor and Adam Cole for a whole week. You hype up, Io Shirai and Toni Storm for a whole week. you hype up 2 big announcements, and people started to hear the rumblings about the 2-night takeover and the women's tag titles, and you still only pull 691. That's it. That's it. Start making the motions to go to Tuesday nights, because wrestling fans have figured it out that unless it's a major like takeover or it's one of these themed shows that they do on Wednesdays, you're not going to see too many title changes. I don't think anybody thought Io Shirai was losing the belt. I don't think anybody out there thought that Finn Balor was losing the belt, you know, because we knew Karrion Kross was on the horizon. And when you already know pretty much the outcome and the storyline is very, very predictable, you know, AEW was like a car accident. I liked the ending overall because I could see the potential in the future. But it was like a car accident that, you know, it's all fucked up, but you still look and you keep looking and you don't turn your head away. And that's what we had yesterday. There's only so many car accidents that AEW could keep putting on week after week after week after week after week. I want to see what those quarter-hour ratings are. And I swear to freaking God, if you see the huge dip for the quarter hour, and you know where I'm going with this, if we see a nice dip for the grizzled young veterans, the Pippets. Why are you Pippets? For Santos Cesar, the Pippets. You know what? I don't mean to be a jerk. I hope that quarter hour nosedived. I hope it went down 80,000 viewers to send a message to WWE. These guys are like Everrise. They're more talented than Everrise. They're not connected with the fans. I told you yesterday, you look at one of them up close in high definition TV, that grizzled young veteran needs a grizzled old dentist. You know, there's nothing about it. One of them looks like the stunt double for John Silver, only a little taller. The other one, like I said, he kind of looks like Shawn Michaels from the Attitude Era, so to speak. But they're talented, but they have no character whatsoever. They don't have that connection with the fans. So Lee predicted 862 for AEW and 691 for NXT. Oh, okay, so you nailed the NXT one. But, you know, it's for those that want to know the ratings, AEW did 743 and NXT did 691. Now, if you remember when I did the quarter-hour ratings last week, remember my prediction that Shaq would draw 1.1 million? He did 1.13 million. 1,130,000. The second quarter hour, if I remember correctly, was like 975, which was still really impressive. But you look at it a week later, they lost a drop under 200,000 viewers, 180,000 viewers. So that curiosity factor for Shaq was there. Now, you could also say, well, NXT only lost by 50,000 viewers. But add the two ratings together, 743 and 691 is 1,434,000. 1,434,000. Think about that for a minute. Last night, Wednesday Night Wrestling did 1,434,000. That is almost 300,000 less than a week before. And yes, Shaq was a curiosity factor, but this week, this was coming off of that pay-per-view, whether good or bad with that ending, like I said, Revolution overall, I like the pay-per-view very much. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I gave it an 8 out of 10 because that ending, we didn't know. We didn't know at that time what happened. Could have been the fire marshal at the very last minute saying, look, you can't do that. You can't do that. And what are you going to do? You're going to have Tony Khan go on the microphone live on pay-per-view? The fucking fire marshal won't let us go boom. Can't do that. Can't do that. They obviously handled it poorly. You always, believe me when I tell you, like when I do shows, I don't do it anymore. But when I used to record my former co-host, I used to have a digital recorder here. I got my computer. I got my Rodecaster Pro recording. I always have two recordings going at the same time. And this is on battery power. So if I get a blackout or a power surge, I know it's a little dirty, but if I get a blackout or a power surge, I still got something recording. I got a battery backup over here. So if I get a little surge going, I won't get, the computer shutting off for a second. You always have to have a backup plan if something goes wrong. I mean, what was the meeting backstage? Think about that. What was the meeting? What if some of these don't go off? And we'll do nothing until Wednesday. Who signed? That's Tony Khan's fault. That's Tony Khan's fault. And I'm not bashing AEW. I'm giving some respectful, constructive criticism. Like I always say, there's a lot of people out there, amazing, epic, unbelievable, everything is cake and ice cream. And that's why they get the attention. Keep in mind that there are people with blue check marks in the entertainment world, in the business world, in the political world, in the sports world, that have to be coddled emotionally, that have to be told that everything is amazing, epic, unbelievable. We're in 2021. You look at what has happened over the last 20 years. I said it 15 years ago that we got the pussification of America. I know some of you long-timers remember that. This was coming. So you got people who are now in their 30s who were a teenager or a preteen back then. So they grew up, having, a little pillow catching them where they fall. So just because you become uber successful, that suddenly you become balls of steel and you have thick skin and nothing bothers you. Quite the contrary. I am a big fan of Lana's. It's no secret. You see that video of her crying hysterical. And, I'm watching it and I feel so terrible for her. And that shows you that no matter how much success somebody has, you still bleed just like anyone else at the end of the day. Your feelings still get hurt at the end of the day. And, when you make this blanket statement or you read that all over the place that we all could do better, it's not we all could do better that are not blue check marks. So just because someone becomes famous doesn't give you the right to be a dick, But with Tony Khan, remember Matt Hardy getting pretty seriously injured in that match with Guevara, and the doctor doesn't do nothing, and the match continues? That's Tony Khan's call, all right? He overrides doctors. And if the doctor said no, he could continue, that motherfucker doctor should have been fired. We talked about that at that time. What happened Sunday is Tony Khan's responsibility. Not this lighthearted jokes. Oh, Kenny Omega with crayons. That's trying to be ha ha, ha ha. All right, we know shit happened. Ha ha. They should have had a backup plan that if anything went wrong, somebody goes out there immediately and acts like they're trolling the place. Kenny Omega, the Good Brothers, and Don Callis, and I said it that night, they should have all been on the rampway going, what, did you think we were going to blow you up? What are you, stupid? What are you, all stupid? They would have had garbage thrown at them. And that could have covered it up. Yes, I agree with you, Edwin. Tony Khan gets all the credit and none the blame. And you could see why. And this is to Tony Khan's credit. Tony Khan is very sociable. Tony Khan is very friendly. Tony Khan does socialize with common folk like you and I. Not us, but like us. But the thing is that, because he is sociable, you see what happens. You see the usual people. Tony Khan will make a statement, oh, make sure you check out Monday's, new AEW show, and then Elevation or whatever it is, Elevator. And you got the same people that will respond within 3 seconds. It's like they have some type of special app on their phone. When Tony tweets, everything stops. You could be in the meeting, you could be in the bank, you could be in the post office, you could be in a funeral, you could be taking a shit, you could be in the middle of sex, you could be in a courtroom. When Tony talks, the phone app goes off. He just commented, and what do you see? Epic, unbelievable, amazing. I can't thank you enough. Amazing, epic. You know what they want? When they get that like one day or a retweet, that'll be their wallpaper. They'll have it tattooed to their tits. They'll have it tattooed to their hairy chests. They'll have it tattooed to their asses. And they now could die in peace. I don't do that. I don't do that. And that's why you got to keep things in perspective. Cake and ice cream only lasts to a certain amount. And if you have too much cake and ice cream, you get fat. You get fat. So, fresh off this pay-per-view, AEW doing 743, that is very disappointing. Especially with the Inner Circle ending this night. I can't wait to see what these quarter-hour ratings look like tomorrow. Yeah, they're turkey tits too. I like Conrad. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you out there don't like that I like him, but anyway, I would greatly appreciate it. In fact, you know, I got a couple of like big-time podcasts. They're not wrestling, but they're trying to like steer me in different directions, helping me make my banners a little different. Now I'm starting to learn how to make my own overlays and shit. You know, we'll make a tiny little overlay like a border, so this looks a little more professional on the screen. But they told me, they're like, you should just stop and go like this and say, I'm not continuing the show unless there is 50 likes. And they do it on their shows. They'll be like this. Oh, we got 18 likes? Okay, all right. If you're really liking the show, you know, smash that like button. And when we get to 50, then we'll continue. And they just go like this. And I'm like, I don't want to piss off my viewers. If they're comfy, if all of you are just relaxing, laying in bed, cruising, whatever you're doing, you know, I don't want to inconvenience anyone. But during the show, you know, if you get up to take a pee or get something to drink and, you know, you happen to see that little thumb, you know, give it, because it helps. It helps. Wanza Motors, my friend, thank you very much. I appreciate. Where's the snake? Oh my God, you're gonna get a kick out of this. I have it inside. I'm not gonna get it. All right, but you know, as a kid, does anybody out there remember snakes? I don't mean the ones in the desert, but snakes, the ones that you would like light with a match, and it's not like a firework, but it like expands and turns into a snake. Tony Glass is watching the Big Ten. All right, cool. Snakes. I mentioned it a week before, and I think I might have mentioned it on Patreon, that, you know, Mish and I the last 2 weeks have gotten into an interesting conversation on Patreon, and we would talk about nothing but retro stuff that we used to play when we were kids, and some of the things that are being rehashed I haven't thought about since I was like 10 years old. And one of the things were those snakes. So I said, oh my God, I haven't thought of snakes since I was like 9 or 10. Why would I ever think of that little, you know, like 4th of July prop or whatever? So 4 days ago, on Monday afternoon, I come home from work and I check my mailbox. There's a yellow envelope. And I'm like, I didn't order anything from Amazon. Like, what could it be? I mean, I was waiting for something, but it wasn't going to fit in the mailbox. I look at it and it's addressed to me, and it's from someone by the name of John something. I open it up, and it's a pack of snakes. And now I'm like thinking of, you know, Sonia Deville, and I'm thinking of all these other people out there that say, you know, or Jordan Grace and others, it is not okay to send things to my personal home. It is not okay to send things to my address. You send it to a P.O. box, you don't send it to my, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, who got my address? Because I know you can't skip trace it online, because I got all my stuff for about 15 years going to a P.O. box. So I go on Patreon Tuesday. I'll show you next week the envelope. I cut out the address for me and for the person because I don't want to dox anybody. But Tuesday, we do our Patreon show. And thank God I brought it up. I said, Mish, you want to hear something weird? He's like, sure, what? And I told him about, you know, somebody shipped snakes to my house. How the fuck they get my address? It was him. He knows my address. There's very few people that have he knows my address. So he either bought them from somebody online and had them ship it directly to me, and the name John was the shipper, or he just made an alias. But Mish sent me the snakes. I want to light them here. But you know what? I was on the beach Tuesday and chatted on Periscope with all of you for about an hour. And that was fun. So if we got some warm weather next week, I am going to do that again. And maybe I'll bring the pack of snakes and a couple other things, and maybe we'll light some stuff off on video. But yeah, fucking Mish, he didn't do it, to like screw in my head. He just, sent it to me as a surprise gift. I had no idea it was him. So for a minute, I thought somebody had my personal information, and I was pissed. Because remember, for people out there that don't know, the last time somebody ever sent something to my... Now look, people in wrestling send me stuff. I don't want to say who and why and this and that, but I do get things. But outside of people in wrestling, the last time I ever got something shipped to my house was I'd say about a dozen years ago, 14 years ago. Somebody that was a fan of the show somehow got my address and mailed me drugs. I wish I was doing video at that time, because I would have taken out the Christmas card and said, look, everybody, I didn't get money. I didn't get a gift certificate. I got blue pills and yellow pills and red pills. No, I did not take any of them. I threw them away. Somebody sent me drugs. Sent me like 12 pills. I don't remember what podcast episode it was, but I know I talked about it, and I was wacky, man. I still don't know to this day who sent it. I don't even know what some of the were. What I should have done was I should have went on the computer, because at that time I didn't know. I really don't know that behind a pill, like some of them have numbers on it, and you go online and you type red pill number 30, and then it shows a picture of it and it tells you what it is. Xanax, there was no Xanax in there because I had Xanax. Xanax is what caused the incident for XPW that I got them banned from the Hollywood. I think it was the Holiday Inn. Do you all know that story about me getting XPW banned from the Holiday Inn? They weren't even in Philly for a month, and I got them banned because I was on Xanax and I flipped out at the hotel clerk. So trust me, I tried Xanax a couple of times. I'll never ever do it again. I could spot a Xanax stick a mile away. But you see, this is why I like doing these shows for all of you now on video, because most, about 90% of all of the things that I said happened over these years that were caught on video, I have it, and now I'm sharing it with you, and that's what makes it so special. All the wrestling stuff, all the stories, I talk about the wrestling magazine where we got USA Pro in the Mexican magazines, and Mike, who unfortunately passed away last year. All those stories that I told, now I got a video outlet to show all of you, and that's what's awesome, man. I'm telling you, I'm having so much fun here doing this with you for a little over a year. And the one thing I enjoy the most is being able to now, I know some of you were sick of some of those stories, but now I get to physically show you some of this, and you get to see some of it. And, your kind words about even the stuff that I did in the indie wrestling world. I look back on it and I'm like, all right, no major promotion was going to pick me up. But now I kind of understand why Fat Frank from Jersey All Pro Wrestling had me go to his school for a couple of months, because he probably thought he saw something that maybe I could do something with him as an Italian guy from Howard Beach. So, yeah, one's almost saying take the blue pill. I should have looked him up. I know that they weren't like Bayer aspirin and sleeping pills. These were drugs. Trust me, these were drugs. But, okay, Michael Gonzalez, thoughts? See, I got a chat room here. I got a chat room here, and I got a chat room here. So, let me see. My thoughts on the Randy Orton Soulja Boy. Is that how you call it? Soulja Boy beef? I'll say it like this. Have you heard me talk about Meghan Markle? Have you heard me talk about Soulja Boy? Have you heard me talk about any of these Bow Wow, Woof Woof? No. Because if you truly don't give a shit about something, you don't talk about it. You don't say or write online, hey, everybody, I don't give a shit about Meghan Markle, so I'm not going to talk about it. You just talked about it. So I don't bring them up unless you bring them up. And since you brought it up, I will answer it. I don't care about Soulja Boy. This guy, I saw the video. David Peralta, I sincerely apologize, my brother, David Peralta. Did I see your message on Patreon? If it was within the last 5 or 6 hours, no, I did not. But I will check it out after. Don't super chat again, but just let me know if it was within the last 5 or 6 hours, because I haven't, after I sent Kevin his questions, because I got to do that. He doesn't do it. I'm offline. For me, I had to go right back to work. So I will definitely, but we'll get back to Soulja Boy and Randy Orton in a second. So Fly, if not for career ending or shortening circumstances, who would have had a brighter career, in my opinion? Jason Jordan or Magnum TA? Magnum TA. Not even close. Magnum TA, even though he was regional, here in the Northeast, we didn't have major exposure to the promotions that people enjoyed in the South. But we got to see enough of Magnum TA to know this guy was destined to be heavyweight champion. You know, you go back to the early 80s, Magnum PI, Tom Selleck. You know Tom Selleck. Now he's on TV trying to get you to sell your house. You know, you're not really selling your house, but you are selling your house, and you get the money, and you don't have to pay it back until after you die. Yeah, I know what that is. I would never do that. But back in the early 80s, Magnum PI, Tom Selleck, you know, that look, that was sex. David Hasselhoff, Knight Rider came out. There was a certain sexy look. Magnum TA had it, and he had charisma, and he had the wrestling ability, and he had the strength. He had all the tools. That guy would have been heavyweight champion. Lee says, I'm borrowing from my home, says, oh, yeah. With Tom, it's actually not bullshit what Tom Selleck is showing on TV. It's not bullshit, but basically what it is you have a house that's worth $300,000 and you have no mortgage on it, let's say, and you need money bad, that you still technically own your home, but there's a big lien on it, and they give you the money, and if you don't pay it back when you die, they get first dibs on that house. It's almost like financing a car, but you don't have to make any car payments until after you die. I would never do that. Try to die with no debt. I mean, I know I'm leaving debt. I know I'll have $1,400 less debt by next week. Woohoo! But Jason Jordan would have had a bright future. Hey, Christian came back. Daniel Bryan came back. Maybe Jason Jordan can come back. But I never looked at Jason Jordan and said, that guy is going to be a future heavyweight champion. Maybe for an indie promotion, but not for WWE. Edwin G, oh, thank you very much, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Seriously, and thank you for your service. Much appreciated. Much love. You know, also, I wanted to give a special shout out. Remember yesterday, AS 7607? Remember someone was in the chat saying that they were at the hospital, and I thought they were in a hospital bed, but you know, they didn't know that they had some symptoms for COVID. Number one, because wrestling to me is still like a male-dominated sport, I almost assume that every screen name is male. AS 7607 yesterday was a female. She's been enjoying the show for 14 years, and it ends up she got hit with COVID. That was the same person yesterday that was in the hospital, in the waiting room, worried that she had COVID. She got COVID. She's worried. She's nervous. She doesn't know how she got it. She wears a mask. She takes all the precautions, and she still got it. So number one, I know everybody tuning in right now is wishing you nothing but the best. Get well soon. You know, to quarantine, take whatever medication. If it's not very serious, they may not even have you take any strong meds. But within a week, before you know it, you'll be back, you know, kicking ass. It's scary. I have personal friends. I know a few people that died from COVID, you know, but, you know, I say the same thing about my dad's heart surgery. I thank God that my dad had his heart surgery in 2021 and not 2001. Like, technology has advanced so much in the medicine field that now the survival rate of what my father went through is tremendously high. 20, 30 years ago, it wasn't the same. I say that with COVID also. Better to get it now than a year ago. There was so much unknown a year ago, and now there's been so much advance with not just vaccines, but with treatments. So don't rush it. You know, you're going to have a little bit of a battle, but before you know it, you'll kick its ass. You'll have antibodies, and that is it. You know, I don't want to compare it to the chicken pox. I don't want to compare it to the mumps. I don't want to compare it to anything like that. But, you know, I had chicken pox, and I had it when I was in the Navy. That was not pleasant. And sitting in a hospital bed, and I've told this story many times in the past. I was in the Navy in boot camp in 1988. No, I had no choice. I got thrown out of my house. I had no place to go. I went to my uncle's for a couple of days, and he said, you can't stay here. So I signed up for the Navy. Best thing I ever did. Saw 2 people kill themselves. I lost 60 pounds. I was depressed beyond depressed. And when I came home, it straightened my ass out. Never do the shit I did before. But the thing is, I had an honorable discharge. When I went into the Navy, I was 306 pounds. I had shin splints and some other shit going on. And for medical reasons, they discharged me. You know, even though when I left, I was down to like 245. But the thing is, like 2 days before I was going home, I got the chicken pox. And they put me in a hospital bed. And I remember eating pretty much nothing but ice pops. And in the background was SummerSlam 88. Miss Elizabeth, wasn't that the one with Miss Elizabeth wearing the yellow like beach bikini outfit? I'm in a hospital bed, a wrestling fan, now realizing that I can't go home for another 2 weeks instead of 2 days. And I got military guys in another room listening, watching SummerSlam 88. All I could do is listen to it. You can't say, hey, you know, officer, could you like raise the volume? Can I get a little like sneak peek at her outfit? So trust me, you know, shit like this sucks when you get some type of an ailment. You do everything you're told. Before you know it, you'll kick its ass. 88. Oh, Sam got his in 88 as well. I don't know. And here's the thing. I know a bunch of people out there that enjoy the shows have told me, I have no idea how I got COVID. And look, it could be something as simple as somebody coughs and some of that crap lands on something, and then you just go like this, or you're just, you know, and you don't even realize it. And I told you this about 2 months ago. I went to Stop and Shop, supermarket, buy a couple of things. And I wanted to get some avocados. And I was in the barrel squeezing some avocados, see if they're, you know, ripe but not too ripe. And as I get to like the 3rd or 4th avocado, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm fucking touching all these avocados with my hands. For all I know, there could be tons of people with COVID in this supermarket that were fondling the avocados as well. After that, I touched no fruit, no vegetables, no nothing. Because you never know. I mean, I'm sure somebody didn't go over the barrel of the avocados and go, you know, but you don't know. Somebody has COVID, they don't realize they have COVID, and then they just rub their face like this, and then they touch an avocado and put it down. Now, I don't know how long the virus hangs out on an avocado and lives, but still, man, still. So Godspeed, as Ted Turner and others, much love, AS7607. Get better. Get better. James Edward. Oh, yeah, the itsy bitty teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. I thought the cap was still on this. Anyway, we're going to do the contest soon because definitely don't want to turn this into a 3-hour banger tonight. We got tomorrow night, SmackDown. Jeez, tomorrow we'll talk about the schedule for WWE. Minga, there's like 10 days, like nothing but wrestling. You see that schedule? They have Raw and NXT and SmackDown and Hall of Fame and WrestleMania and after WrestleMania and NXT. It's nonstop. Man, people are going to get so wiped out in wrestling a month from now. But it's going to be good, man. You're going to see some fans back. It's going to start feeling a little bit normal again. You know, I mean, it's, give it, I didn't watch Biden's speech tonight, but I heard from a few people, I didn't hear it, I read it online. A few people were saying that Biden said by May, everybody in the country can get the vaccine. That's what they're gunning for. Now, that's noble, but from what I understand, it's up to the individual states what they want to do. They go to CDC guidance, and obviously Biden's not going to override that. So it's up to the individual states. Some states already, I think Alaska already, anybody could get a vaccine over the age of 16. So, you know, it's wishful thinking, what he's saying. I'm not criticizing him at all right now, but I said to everybody out there, by May or June, things are going to start, I don't want to say getting back to normal. It's going to take a couple of years to get back to normal. But May or June, we're going to start to be able to begin the road to getting back to normal. It's going to take a year or two for a lot of people, a lot of businesses. I have so many customers that they have tenants, they haven't paid them rent in a year. There is a huge problem coming. And any of you out there that's been following me for a year already know what that is, because I've talked about it many times before. You have millions and millions and millions of Americans that are going to face eviction. They haven't paid rent in a year. And here, like in New York, they kept postponing it, saying that landlords cannot evict their tenants. They kept delaying it. So now they're starting to let the ball run. And immediately, this person's facing eviction. This person's facing eviction. I had a customer 2 days ago cancel her insurance because she's got to get some money together. Otherwise, she's going to get evicted. That is going to be the #1 story in about a month or two, maybe sooner. All you're going to hear on the news is we got to help all these people facing evictions. You have no idea what is coming. I think some of you do know, but it's going to take a couple of years to really recover from this. But by May or June, which is only a couple of months away, you know, especially for us as wrestling fans, it's going to start feeling normal. It really is. It really is. I can't wait. I am very, very lucky to have been fully vaccinated. But, you know, I know there's a lot of you out there that don't want to get vaccinated, which is cool. Not everybody has to be vaccinated. But when we get to that herd immunity and the risk of getting it is very, very minimal, we'll be good. Let's see. Tyree Jones, what's more likely first to happen? The Rock returning or John Cena winning his 17th world title? It's actually well, most of everybody's questions are pretty good. That's pretty good. I think The Rock returning. And the more I think about it, the way your question is posed, definitely The Rock returning. Because The Rock could return and just cut a promo and give a rock bottom and the people's elbow to somebody, and that's it. So, John Cena, I think if John Cena gets that 17th title win, it'll be at the very tail end of his career. And I know what you're going to say. His career's already at the tail end. Nah, that guy is still physically able, and he's in Hollywood, and he's doing everything. Plus, he's motivating a lot of people, you know. So he's got many years still that he can return to the ring. I mean, my God, you look at like Sting and Christian. Of course, Sting is going to be mostly cinematic. I mean, we pretty much figured that out. But John Cena has, I would say Cena has at least another 10 years to do a little in wrestling again. I'm not talking about a Mania appearance and gone. I'm talking maybe a couple of months doing it. I think he's still got another decade at least that he could still do some. So plenty of time for John Cena to get that 17th title win. I say The Rock. Without a doubt. So, guys, you want to see the first half of the vintage DT stuff? I'll show you the first half now. I'll set this up quickly. I did only 2 or 3 appearances in wrestling, period, for Frank Goodman's USA Pro Wrestling, and I was being sabotaged. We already talked about that. So I started going to this wrestling school, VPW, became friendly with the head guy there who was the trainer and everything. Really, really good guy. Really, really wonderful people there. And I started training. I started trying to learn, basics to be a manager, but also try to learn stuff. And unfortunately, obviously, you already know, my neck was in 1,000 times worse shape than I ever thought it was. But they let me do what I want. As long as I kept it family friendly. Because you got to understand, when you see some of this stuff, especially down the line when I show you me bringing the dog out, the dog's giving a Bronco Buster with these giant balls in a wrestler's mouth, not inside his mouth, but in his face. It was family friendly. I know it sounds X-rated, wasn't, but the shows were family entertainment. So I was allowed to go as far as I wanted, as long as I didn't go over a certain line. You're going to see me, when I brought Shark Boy in, you're going to see me with the cooler tossing Shark Budweisers. I actually took Budweisers and printed up labels and put Shark Boy's head on them, and I was tossing in beers. You're going to see all that. I have so much shit still that I got to take out of the archives. So this was only my second ever appearance, third ever appearance in this promotion and doing the wrestling school. So I know some of you out there missed the very beginning of this show. You're going to see probably a minute or two again that you saw earlier. But when you see me coming out, they let me do what I want. They let me take, there's 4 sides of a ring. So you got fans on this side, this side, this side, and this side. They let me tape off 1/4 of the building. And what I did was I had everybody that works in my father's store. Now remember, VPW is about an hour and a half away from where I live. So we all got on buses and we went out to Suffolk County, Long Island. And I brought all the workers in the store, my brother, my brother's wife, my 2 nieces who were 6 and 7 years old. I brought in the produce guys, the ones that look like illegal immigrants, but they're not. I tried to paint it off. And we brought in some people from the neighborhood that were friends of mine to make it look like they got privilege. This was white privilege before white privilege became privilege out there. This was Howard Beach showing up in Suffolk County, and they're being fed food, they're being given drinks, and one side of the building is eating and drinking, and everybody else that paid tickets are sitting there watching this. So obviously I came in as a heel. The funny thing about it is, after 4 shows, I had so much fun hanging out with all the fans there that they turned us into good guys. So when you see me doing heel stuff, technically, that was very, very short-lived, because after 4 appearances, I became a good guy. And everybody that I was involved with became good guys. So when you see this now, you know, this is rare. But you'll see my brother. If you look closely, you'll see my brother's kids. You'll see his wife. You'll see some of the workers. I'm hugging them and this and that. But the funny thing is, if you look closely, there was some hillbilly guy there with this big Texan hat, and he's with his sons. And when we got to intermission, he was so fucking pissed off that we were rubbing it in everybody's faces that side of the building got free food and free everything, and everybody else got nothing. You'll see his face. He was pissed. So, this is only the first half. This is going to, and look, this is wrestle crap. I want anybody to think that I aced any of this. The opening promo I thought was decent, but what you're going to see now is kind of crappy. But we get a good laugh. I could laugh at myself. This is to set up the match later between Jason Static and Grim Reaper. So we're not going to show that match until towards the end of tonight's show. But now you're going to see what set up for that. So, and I got to give props, man, to Reaper for going along with this, because Reaper was a huge star in the Northeast. He wrestled. Go look him up. Look at the promotions he wrestled. You'd be blown away. And, you know, he lived 5 minutes from me. I think he still lives over here. 5 minutes, 4 blocks from my house. And he gave me the privilege of being in his corner. So I absolutely, absolutely loved it. And leave it to Crazy Cruiserweight to hijack it with this. Which time period do I prefer to be in? The Vikings discovering North America or the Roaring 20s? You want to know something? I'm not kissing up because of Super Chat. I know there's some people out there that try to start that shit with me, but this is a phenomenal question. I'll tell you why. I know I've mentioned it before. Someone in the chat room will put the guy's name in here now. On YouTube right now, there are some artists that have found footage from 1900s, 1910, 1920, and they improved the video. They even put a little sound behind it. You could watch for hours what life looked like at 1900. It is unreal, this footage. I talked about the 1940s footage that's in color and everything. You got to see. Someone in the chat room is going to write that person's name. If you were always curious to see what the streets looked like, what life looked like, go look when they first got cars in like the 30s and look at the footage of cars riding on the highways. It's incredible. I sit there, I would have loved to live in I know the 20s is right after the 1918 virus and the Depression. I don't care. I don't care. I would have loved to have lived in the 20s. I choose here now because obviously there's no YouTube and no podcasting in the 20s. I'd be screaming out my window, hey, what's up, everybody? You're listening to Prehistoric Don, you know, Dinosaur. Anyway, thank you, Cruiserweight. By the way, the contest for tonight, I'll give you a little hint now before we do the video. See this picture? See that? Tonight's contest, there are 5 names that you have to pick. I'm not going to tell you what it is now, but the good thing is you don't have to write each person's first and last name. All you got to do is write their first name, but you have to write all 5. The hint is all 5 answers can be found there. There. It's very easy. In fact, I have a feeling this contest will be over in maybe 45 seconds. And it may go that long only because you have to type. If you misspell, it's, as long as we know pretty much who you're talking about. So there's the hint. The answer is 5 answers. You got to have all 5. It is not hard, trust me. I personally think it's the easiest one I've done so far. So anyway, let's take this off. Let's put this here. I look a little pale up there. That's a webcam. I have these cameras, what you see here, and the little box is my little webcam I used to use. So the color is a little off. So here is the first part to set up what went down. I think you'll get a kick out of it. Now, again, for the people who tuned in at the very beginning, I'm sorry that we're restreaming 2 minutes of it, but, I actually liked it. And I love to see your reaction on the chat screen right now. So here, enjoy the first half.
All right, this is Jerry Fitzwater, and I am here with 2 dangerous men. We have the Grim Reaper and your newly acquired manager, Don-O-Mite. And now, this is... I gotta ask you, are you nervous? You're facing Jason Static tonight in your match with Jason Static. Are you nervous? I won't.
Listen. I didn't bring my stupid dictionary with me, so I'm not even going to answer that question. He beat him the last show. Why would he not want to face him again? Beat him again. What are you stupid?
There's your song. That's Ted. Explain something. Who is in charge of this federation that will book another match between me and some scrub that I beat the crap out of, left him in the ring, cannolis all in his face? Let me tell you something. You're not Vince McMahon. You can't do this. Let me tell you something, Jay Static. You could do all the push-ups in the world, you could do all the sit-ups, and whatever extra activity they do in Gold's Gym. Let me explain something to you. I'm a natural killer, all right? I'm here to kill you. I'm taking you out. There's going to be no more Jay Static in VPW. There should be no more weirdo, creepo-looking punks like you. I got my man right here. We got the power.
HBOZ, baby.
It's over with, Static. You understand? Explain something. If you talk like that again to me, you're gonna get slapped. I want to hear your normal voice. I don't want to hear your...
This is my normal voice.
Okay.
Can I have my degree in journalism?
Let me tell you something where we come from. When we come from, we don't just wax someone, we disfigure them. So Jason, you're stupid enough to accept the challenge again. Next time, we're going to disfigure you. HBOZ.
All day, every day.
That's right. Cosa Nostra has just begun.
All right, well,
Bye-bye.
there you have it. All right, that's not necessary. Come on now.
Tu madre et faccia la carne.
Oh, come on now. I don't know what he said, but it sounded pretty devious. Jerry Fitzwater. Oh, hey!
You're dead, Stat.
Chris, what is this? I'm not sure. What is he doing? That's Don Tony and that's Reefer giving a hero, but it seems that they're...
That's a superhero right there.
That is, but they're only giving it...
Sandwich. That is a big sandwich.
It's a fantastic looking sandwich, but they're giving it only to this section right here. What about the rest of these people? What about me? What about me and my hunger for sandwiches?
Why you come over with guardrail? Oh, Stone Cold with the middle finger. Hey, fat boy, what's up, Bob? What are you doing? Huh?
It's not nice, Cole.
Look at you, Shady. Oh, you like Slim Shady, huh? You Long Island Slim, you know what
He likes Slim Shady.
Does everybody know what
I like Slim Shady.
No, because you're from...
I don't know exactly who Slim Shady is.
I'll tell you something.
Well, the real Slim Shady. Please. Get me a beer.
OCHB all day, every day. You know what
Captain,
that
you're a
is, do you?
professional.
With your freaking mohawk.
I don't know, I've been known to be a bit of a wild man.
Just break your girlfriend's arm, she don't want reaction, huh? Yeah. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. What do you want to do? Come in the ring. Come in the ring. You man from the front now here. Yeah, okay. Sit down, because I'm going to throw up. Look at you, cowboys. Zara, what are you doing over there, Bo? Let's go from over here. Let's go take it to Taco Bell. Don't forget to buy my shirt over there, Grim Reaper all day, HBOZ. What are you looking at, fat boy? What are you looking at, kid? What do you want to do? Look at this guy. You got a tattoo of just crud on your arm.
That's of John Grothick.
Yo, it ain't
I know
too
that,
much.
man.
Let me tell you something. All of a sudden, I see this little cheap flyer guy. This is my name, Grim Reaper. The best lightweight, the best heavyweight, the best wrestler in Queens. Undeniable. All right? I'm facing Jay Static again.
See, look, they're passing the hero out.
Jay Static. He's going to electrocute me. Nice. Let me tell you something. Great success.
These fans love Jay Static.
Why is the booker? You know, just shut your mouth, fat section. Shut your mouth, fat.
Oh, it's awesome. Now I think Reefer is behind me.
Things I regret.
See, like the sandwich. They're all eating.
After an evening of the bar, but this is insulting.
Push-ups a day static. Why is that happening when we just beat him? First of all, I should be the heavyweight champion of the world. But guess what? There is no belt in this fed. So I should go to Video Game Central, let's hit in Howard Beach, Queens, and buy one of those styrofoam belts to come out with next time, right? Antoine, buy one for me. Tell these guys what we're going to do tonight while I sip my Coca-Cola.
You know, for these people that don't realize it, every single one of these people over here are my own family from Howard Beach.
They all turned heel. Now I think Reefer's behind me, but it's Jason Static.
And let me tell you something, for all you people over there, I promise you, this Jason who?
Here comes WrestleCrap.
Oh, no, he doesn't know. Wait, that's Jay Static behind him.
Now I feel muscles.
Oh, indeed. Oh my God, no. Insulted Don Tony right in front of the Howard Beach fans. Oh, my God.
No hands. Look, I told him just laid in. I was legitimately like dizzy.
Don't expect this. Oh, my God.
He started fucking with my suit. Chop!
What is going on?
Gentlemen in the green shirt is...
He kicked me in the face.
I don't know.
He fell on top of me.
I don't know what he's so angry about, huh? He has to be young fella.
He was jacked, man.
I don't know what he has to be so mad about.
He's angry because people infuriated him. My God, Patty, keep up.
Tonight, it's me and you. Bringing you only Trey, bringing some heroes. But tonight, Static is going over all over you, buddy.
Oh, God, it's some strong words from Jason Static.
How do we catch that? You catch that, Earl?
I don't know.
I get a word.
That was a ball of fury is what it was.
That chop hurt, man. That freaking chop hurt.
There he is. Now he is put together. Look at that man.
He looks like Brian Cage, doesn't he? Looks a lot like Brian Cage. That chop hurt. Oof. That freaking hurt, man. I tell you, the 10 shots to the turnbuckle hurt because I didn't put my hand. I told them, I said, whatever you do tonight, go full blown. Lay it on me. You want to see the match now or you want to see it towards the end of the show? Because we're already an hour and 10 minutes in. The match is about 13 minutes long, so I'll leave it up to you. You're live right now, so you dictate what we do. We could put the match on now. We could do the contest now. I'll leave it up to you. We could talk about some other stuff. We could do some more Q&A. We could watch the match, or we could do the contest. All right. Yeah, Mark, there are 2 videos with me bleeding. All right, everybody wants to watch the match. Okay. All right, enjoy. The match is very good, by the way. But listen, the chair shot that I took, I'm going to keep totally silent. I want you to hear it. Believe me when I tell you, I've gotten hit by Balls Mahoney, God rest his soul, with a chair. I was hit with Louis. You saw the one with the metal in my head. This was the hardest chair shot I ever took. I threw up that night a couple of times. That's how hard it was. And I sold it like I was dead, but I was in a daze, man. I kind of felt bad for my two nieces, but I told them before, and I said, look, Uncle Tony is going to get hit with a chair later, but it's all pretend. They were 6 and 7. And when you hear it, you see it, you'll trust me. But see, that was one thing. Even though my shit sucked, I was going to take all the abuse. Not going to sugarcoat it. Don't treat me with kid gloves. Just fucking lay it in. If I'm going to be out there, lay this shit in on me. And they were like, sure, no problem. No problem. Oh, man, I miss Balls Mahoney. He was such a good guy, man. He freaking loved the hotline that we used to do. Hung out with him. Never forget that mosh pit and that basement that I tell you. Some of you don't know that story, I'll tell it another day. But we hung out with Balls Mahoney at like a club that had a mosh pit. And it was the strangest experience I ever had. It just was wild. What goes on in those basements, my God. My God. David Peralta, why is it okay for someone like him to live in a goddamn abusive household where everyone else in his age got their own lives? David, unfortunately for a lot of people out there, there is no, there's no set age, especially with COVID. My fiance is 41 and she lives with her parents. I know a lot of you are going to say, why isn't she living with you, DT? She's got 3 dogs. I can't have 3 dogs over here. I don't want 3 dogs over here. It's too small. That's why, I'm trying to start preparing for my future so I could have it with her and her dogs and, everything else. But, with everything going on, and listen, I have no idea what's going on in your household. The only thing I could say to you is stay strong. It's good to turn around, but you got to understand there's so much tension and stress and depression right now with COVID, not being able to go to school, not being able to go to work, not being able to go out, not being able to do the simplest little things. I threw out my garbage the other day, and maybe one day I'll turn my camera on and just record a couple of seconds so you can see where my garbage thing is, where I dump my garbage. And all I did was around 6 o'clock at night. There's nobody outside. I took my garbage and I'm walking to the garbage thing. A lady walks the other way and she says, where's your mask? I said, I'm totally vaccinated. So what? Where's your mask? I said, look, I'm sorry. I just came out to throw out the garbage. But I'm saying to myself, what a fucking bitch. There's a lot of people out there that the slightest little thing they snap. Best thing for you to do, you're in a household, things get testy, go to another room. Go outside for a minute. Just do something else. Tune into my shows. Play a game. Do something just to calm the air. That's the only advice I could give you. Anything else that I give, it would not be appropriate because I honestly don't know your situation. But seriously, maybe this could get your mind off of it a little bit. That's all I could offer you, man. Just stay strong, man. It's not going to be forever. And trust me, you'll look back on it and you'll say to yourself, you know what? This shit made me stronger. Seriously. I went through so much adversity in my life. And I know a lot of you out there have gone through crazy adversity as well. Trust me, I see and hear some of your stories you tell me over the years. One thing is for certain, almost every single person in the chat room right now will type this. And they won't type it because I said it. They'll type it because they mean it. That they will tell you that some of the adversity that they went through in their lifetime was fucked up at times, but it made them stronger. I mean, just think about it. I'm an Italian white guy. You know, I mean, there's no way I had it as bad as a lot of you out there. But still, you get it bad at times, but what does not kill you makes you stronger. You may get knocked down, but you get your ass back up. Seriously. So anyway, if you have viewing pleasure, let's do it. Let's do it. Enjoy.
Accompanied by Howard Beach's own Don-O-Mite, weighing at 190 pounds, from Ozone Park, Queens.
Maj, what's up, Maj?
Coming out here.
Look, they're still eating in the corner on the left.
You know, I think they might be implying that this gentleman.
That whole section is my section.
What is that?
I said I think.
Where is Don Tony?
Who's Don Tony?
Where am I?
Where is he? Now Reefer's in the ring with the fans, but where is his manager, Don Tony?
Where am I, everyone?
And here's Jason Static. What is this?
And from Brooklyn, New York, weighing 225 pounds.
Oh my God! This Static
Gotta get on the ball.
I tell you, they both could go, man.
Theme music. A brawl.
This was the main event. You know, it's nice to manage the main event.
And this match has started here.
Ooh.
These men didn't wait for anything to get out here and just beat the living heck out of each other.
You can say it, Earl. I won't tell a soul. I promise.
Oh no, I will not. And now it's going to the back. What are they doing? I don't care.
Get ready for yours truly.
And now it looks like Static has never had. Oh no! Tried to do a low blow and now Static retaliates. Oh my God!
That guy was jacked, man. He was a monster. He reminded me of a cross of Brian Cage and Scotty Anton. All right, here I come. Now watch close. You'll see me spit food in his face.
Don Tony.
I can't sound surprised that that fella's eating.
Oh God! Spits right. Oh, that's disgusting sandwich in the face of Jason Static. That is disgusting.
I want to get me a piece of that sandwich.
And he cannot eat that bread. He can't. To keep his physique, he cannot eat bread. He's trying to stay away from carbs.
WWE was going to bring him into developmental, and I think it didn't work out.
Shot to the chest by Reaper.
I was still eating.
He has Static tied the ropes. Oh, elbow to the back of the skull.
that muscular fella.
Jason Static is fighting for his life.
I think those them drugs gave this fella in the hat some sort of superhuman ability.
I don't know what you're talking about. But Reaper does have the upper hand now, and I think it's partially because of Don Tony.
You think those are special canoes, Earl?
I don't know. And now Static. Oh, God.
Nice.
And Reaper responds with a kick to the face.
Kind of clap, kind of sissy.
I don't think Jason Static knows where he is right now. And
I was going to hit him, but I didn't have the balls. Howard Beach.
Fans, I mean, they know 718 is the area code for Howard Beach and Queens. Obviously making reference to the 619.
Nice.
Oh my God, now Reaper seems to have got the upper hand.
I'm telling you, they really could go, man. I think I get tossed on right now. I think I get dumped on.
And there's a 2 count there.
Maj, that's not me in the ring. I'm outside the ring.
And Static misses with that. Whoa. Oh my God! Devastating maneuver.
Nice crossface. All right, here it comes. Oh, he just threw him right on me.
Lifted him up like a baby.
And Static getting the upper hand there.
He doesn't look so good. Looks like he used a drink.
Don't even start.
Ah, got him. Damn it.
An attempt by Don Tony to ruin the match for Jason Static.
That time I grabbed him. Better than the last show, right? Hooked his leg.
My God.
Oh, the board from the hero. Oh!
What the hell is that little fat guy got there?
He has something there. He has a board there of some sort. Don Tony.
I was pulling the staples out of it.
All right.
I just realized it. Somebody yelled at. He wrestled with the do-rag the entire match. Didn't fall off.
And now, Reaper kick to the back.
Yeah, the ref knew about the leg spot.
And Static now. Oh my God, devastating maneuver. 1, 2, and now.
Earl, I think you're calling down. You sounded a little sick a minute ago.
I think the State Athletic Commission didn't want the board. There was like, I don't know, staples in the side. It was not. Oh, here comes the chair thing. Get ready, everyone.
Disrespect.
This shit knocked me out, and I threw up like overnight. But I'm here and I'm fine. No brain damage.
Going up top.
I hear tell Reaper gets high on.
What's he doing? Oh my God! That was high even for Reaper.
Some loud woman there.
And now, here's a lockup assault. Robust. Oh my God! Believe. And Reaper now, trying a leverage maneuver.
That does not look comfortable in the least.
I think here it comes.
Earl, I can barely keep my eyes open. I don't know.
Because you're not right.
I think I feel pretty good. Just a little sleepy time to time.
I was calling him to get the chair.
Say that.
What I had earlier seemed a little bit righter than rain to me.
And now Reaper now on the receiving end of some devastating slaps by Jason Static. Oh my God!
I've never seen this kind of hold
What is
before.
this? What is
This doesn't look good at all.
Don't touch the Don.
What is going on here? And come on, ref.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
And there's a nice way of diverting.
Let's turn the crowd upside down. If I ever
There it goes. Listen to this.
I don't think that big fella intends to sit down with that chair.
Oh my God! Jason Static now. Tight. 2. That was as close as it can get.
Knocked my ass out. Dead. Gone. Didn't move.
And now, a power move by Jason Static.
And there we go. The end, ladies and gentlemen. The fat lady is sung. And there's several in the audience tonight.
But everyone else is.
Oh, man.
All those fans of Don-Tony.
See all the fans? Yeah, they were booing him.
But Jason Static, it's
I think after that night, everybody in the building just wanted us to be good guys. I think Jason Static was always meant to be a heel. Was I conscious? Yeah, I was conscious. I just was sounding like I was dead. I wasn't going to move. I didn't even move my arm. You'll see me after. I did something like, just watch close. You'll see what I'm talking about.
And we have here a wounded Don Tony and Reaper.
I thought he was dead.
He doesn't know where.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my God. Oh, shit. Oh, man, that's funny, man. Like I said, I was new. I was new. I mean, I was a little nervous. I was kind of afraid of screwing up. That chair shot was nice, though. You're going to take a chair shot the right way. SoFly is saying, was I supposed to be standing all the way up there when they took that shot? No, I was supposed to be halfway, and this way when I fell down, I would be draped between the rope. So I was not like laid out, like, because I didn't want to just like slump, because if you're standing up and then you slump, you don't know where you're going to end up. By me being halfway up, I could just slump right between the middle rope, and that's what I did, especially when you're going to do that for like 5 minutes. I was laid out for like 3-4 minutes. I didn't move nothing, wouldn't move nothing. So, but like I said, oh my God, wait until I do this stuff with Shark Boy. Wait until we bring the dog in. Wait until I had another like 6-7 months. Hell of a lot better than this. Anthony Diaz says no brain damage. Well, who knows, man? Who knows? The amount of time I'm doing with the shows and work and everything else, maybe I do have a couple of screws loose. But I'm telling you, I'm very happy that we could look at this and laugh at it. A lot of what I did sucked. I'm not going to deny it, but hey, I appreciate the fact that I was able to do it. I appreciate the fact that people, even in 2021, have asked me to do it. So, if I do it again, like I said, there's 3 promotions. 2 are in Jersey, 1's in New York, that asked me to do work again once COVID is over. And I said yes. I had a long talk with my fiance, as long as it's not every week, maybe once a month. But I will tell you this, and I promise you this, if I do this stuff again, not only am I going to fit in time to go back and do a little school stuff, but I'm going to do it 1,000 times better than before, or I'm not going to do it at all. Not going to be like this stiff, person. I'm going to just, we'll see. We'll see, man. I appreciate it. SoFly, that I think was probably some of the worst stuff that I ever did. But there's some stuff coming. And keep in mind, I managed like 6 different people. As time went on, and I got to get that footage from Mr. Big. Seriously, I'm going to try to get in touch with him next week. Whatever his price is, if he sends me that footage when I managed Homicide and Reefer versus Sandman and Raven, and getting Singapore Cane from Sandman and spraying, the ringside area with air freshener because they smelled like shit, and it was all Spanish Harlem. That probably was my favorite. And even the promo that we did in the back, that was my favorite night probably outside of the Louis stuff. So, Austin, I just did what I thought was instinct. Not very good. But like I said, looking back on it, I'm very, very upset at myself for letting people get to me, bring me down. Because I think to myself, man, if I would have maybe dropped another 30, 40 pounds and stuck with this school and, but there was a lot of pain also. The pain from my car accident was overwhelming. My neck was in horrible shape. Every time I tried to take a back bump, the back of my head would hit the back because I didn't have the strength that I thought I did. It's depressing. It's depressing. But, yeah, so, hey, after 15 years of hearing me tell that story, you finally get a chance to see it. One thing, and again, this is not to try to start shit with other people out there, but I only speak for me. But you are starting to realize that all of the stories that I told all of these years are true. And most of them I could back it up with footage. You see people on Twitter, you don't see any proof of anything. Zero, not even a still shot photo of anything. That's what you got out there. So now we get to actually show. Oh, man. And if I find that XPW camera footage from my hotel room when we had the parties, I don't know if I would ever show that. There's nothing terrible going on. There were chop fests. There was some funny stories, people cutting promos. Trust me, it's really, really surreal to be in your hotel room. And I used to always get my own hotel room. I didn't want a room with anyone. I always want to get my own room and be in my room, and to have half of the roster hanging out in my room, because obviously they didn't want to stink up their room with smoking a little weed or something like that. But to have Jerry Lynn and I think Danny Doring doing a chop fest in my room, just back and forth until they couldn't take it anymore. And then seeing some of these guys cutting crazy ass promos. I'm telling you, man, I know that I have done zero as far as anything in wrestling, but to be able to even have this much privilege to be backstage and to do a couple of things, man, it's like the little kid in me comes out. You could kind of probably hear it in my voice right now. The little kid comes out of me. You know, it was something I always wanted to do. But hey, you know, I'm not dead yet. I'm not 70 years old. So we'll see if we could pick up where I left off 15 years ago. So anyway, so Roger Rubio, thank you very much, my friend, again, for the kind words. He thought the chair shot was awesome. Let me tell you something. I had to drive the next day. Thank God we had buses going there. Because remember, I bussed everybody there. So we had 2 buses. Each one had about 25, 30 people in them. And thank God we had buses, because there was no way I was going to be able to drive home that night. I went home, and I remember a couple hours later, the room started spinning, and I threw up a couple of times. Then I realized, you know, that shit knocked me for a loop. But after a couple of days, I was fine. RCW Lee, what did I think of Coming to America? I have not watched it yet. I watched a bunch of clips online, and honestly, this is my opinion on it. We're in the middle of COVID. Obviously, there's a lot of things that they probably could have done that they didn't do, and there's too many years have gone by for the sequel, in my opinion. If they would have done this 10 years ago, I think it would have been a hell of a lot different. They waited too long. They waited too long, in my honest opinion. I still remember. I mean, a lot of people that don't know this, but McDowell's, that was supposed to be the knockoff of McDonald's, McDowell's was right across the street from the Elks Lodge, where ECW used to have shows in New York, where USA Pro Wrestling. I actually had the privilege of working in that building twice. And they announced that they were going to be filming scenes for a movie called Coming to America. We were all, me and my friends were all going to go to Queens Boulevard and hang out and watch the filming. And I don't remember the reason why we didn't go. I think it might have been cold. I think it might have been the weather was kind of shitty that day. I don't remember. But we were going to go, and we didn't go. But, yeah, that's legit. McDowell's was on Queens Boulevard, right across the street from the Elks Lodge. Literally across the street. Believe it or not, if they would have had a camera shot the other way, you would have saw the Elks Lodge in the background. That's how close it was. No joke. So, hey, I love being able to just shoot the shit. You know, Mondays, obviously, we talk Raw, a few other tidbits. Wednesdays is NXT and AEW. Fridays is SmackDown and, you know, the quarter-hour ratings and a few other things. But on Thursday, I come in here with pretty much nothing in front of me other than the contest, and we just go wherever the conversation goes. And I tell you, I don't know how to take it when some of you say to me, Thursday's now your favorite night of the week of these shows. Because believe me when I tell you, there is work involved preparing for Monday, preparing for Wednesday, preparing for Friday. But maybe this is a little bit of a sign that less preparation might be the ticket to just, having even that much more fun, even on the other nights. So, this is still a new learning experience. I mean, even though, I'm doing this since 97, keep in mind, even when I was doing audio only, it's still a much different animal than here. It's still a learning experience, but I never in a million years ever thought that we would get to that. I mean, look at that number, 18,500. I mean, not everybody that tunes in even subscribes. If you noticed the last 2 weeks, I have never once said subscribe because not everybody subscribes. But if you hit the like button, that immediately tells YouTube you like the show, and YouTube may recommend it to others. And that's something that you could do every show. With subscribing, you only do it once, and that's it. So believe me, this is still all new, but I'm having a ball, man. You want to do the contest? Let's do the contest. Now, again, just because I'm putting this wheel, now we got to put it in a way that it's not glossy. See, that's the only problem about it. There's like reflection. So I think that's okay. You could see this thing up here. I guess that's good enough. So the purples, I know I got to get better chalk. By next week, this will be vibrant. But, you probably could see it better than I can, but the purples are like $10 with a spin or something like that. So here's the deal. We got this too. There's 100 balls in here. So for those out there that may have never tuned in before, that want to be part of this contest, this is simple. We're going to do a contest. And the first person that gets it right will win. And they have a choice. I could spin the wheel behind me. Whatever it lands on, that's their prize. You could get it either PayPal, Amazon e-gift card, or I can mail you a money order. Those are your options. So you can choose this. Whatever it lands on, that's what you win. If you land on one of these that says plus a spin, then you get a second spin. And whatever it adds up to, that's yours. Or if you don't want the wheel, we have the balls. Inside this, it's numbered between 1 and 100. And I spin it, and I pull it out, and whatever that ball is, you win. So you have a chance of winning between 1 and 100. Obviously, there you got a chance of winning a little bit more. So everybody get your typing fingers together, because remember, you have to type 5 names. Not 4, but 5. Here is your hint. Your 5 answers can be found in those promotions during those eras. If you notice, the Impact Wrestling logo is from about 7-8 years ago. The TNA logo is a little bit further back. SmackDown. So here is your other hint. All the answers are within the last 10 years. So I'm going to ask you a question, and then you're going to type 5 names. You don't have to type the first and last name. You could type one name for each one. You misspell it a little bit, it's okay as well, as long as we could figure out what it is. The first person that types all 5 names wins. And believe me when I tell you, I honestly think this is going to be one of the easier contests that I will ever do. Don't ask me how I even thought about this, but I did. Elroy, We're trying to get our stimulus check Friday night, Saturday, so we can join the channel and the subscription. I think by next week, a lot of you are going to get that $1,400. If you filed your taxes electronically, and if you're a single person and you made less than $70,000, you should have that $1,400 in your checking account by next week. So we ready? We have the chat screen live so everybody can see. Now, I had two people say to me that for some reason their names are not popping up in the chat. I honestly don't know what to tell you because I checked the names of the people who have been shadow banned, and neither one of you, I don't want to say who they are, but neither one of you are on that list. So I honestly have no idea why your names are not popping up. But I have Googled it, and apparently there are other shows where people complain that their chat, now on a replay, again, when you look at the chat screen on the replay, it says top chat replay or live chat replay. So maybe you're selecting top chat and for some reason you're not showing up. So anyway, let's get to the contest. I'm going to ask you a question. It has to do with a last name. You don't have to type the last name 5 times. And think about the question. Think about the question. Okay? Here it is. Over the last 10 years, amongst those promotions that you see on the screen, there you go, amongst all those promotions you see, over the last 10 years, tell me 5 wrestlers who have wrestled on TV for those promotions at least once that have in their wrestling name Paige. 5 wrestlers with Paige in their name. Name me 5. Obviously, some are a piece of cake. Type all 5. Don't type one and then another and another. Name me 5 people who have wrestled in those promotions that have had the name Paige. Could be the only name. Could be something else. All right. We're watching. We're watching. And look, you could guess more than once. I don't care. But don't write 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 because that won't work. You got to put all 5 in the same line. So there's some individual answers that are correct. 5 people who have wrestled that had the name Paige. My God, I don't want to give hints over here. But there's a certain Twitch streamer that everybody loves to look at streaming. Come on. Come on. There's 5. There's 5. 5, and don't overthink it. 5 people who have wrestled at least once in those promotions, not in every promotion, but at least once, that had Paige, the name Paige in their name. Well, we didn't have a Christian Page. We didn't have a Brian Page, but close, close. Wow. No one is getting it. Brian Page, I don't know who Brian Page is. There's a Brian Cage, but there is no Brian Page. Somebody is very close. Good cast he's not far off. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. It'll come. It'll come. This is fun, man. This is fun. You know what I love about it? Nobody is typing because they have their entry, and I know what's happening right now. Everybody has their entry, and they have 4 names typed, and they're trying to figure out the 5th name. Should I give a hint? Oh, whoa. Nope. DDP, Ethan Page, Hangman Page. That's only 4. That's only 4. Not bad, but we need 5. Matt Seidel, I don't remember him having Page in his name. Christian Cage, not Christian Page. Oh, this is a good one. Holy shit. Oh, wait. No. Nice try, Larry. Adam Page and Hangman Page. That's the same person. Kimberly Page did not wrestle in the last 10 years, but not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. I will give you one hint. The female, there's only one female on this list. And she's still employed with one of these companies. Sort of. Can't wrestle right now. If I give the hint, it's going to be all over. Now, obviously, for people on audio only, they're probably all going nuts right now, say, Jesus, end this fucking contest already. Nobody. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Kenzie Page, no. No, because that's not on that list. Do I see NXT on that list? No. Oh, wait. Somebody might be close. Somebody might be close. We need all 5 names. Hurry up, type. Oh, whoa. Oh, my God. Wow. The contest is just about over. No. Okay, we got it. And we got a winner. Oh, good man. Good man. Good Cast Network. Got it. I said don't overthink it. Everybody got Page, obviously. Everybody got Diamond Dallas Page. He wrestled in 2015, I think the Royal Rumble or the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. He also wrestled for TNA if you want to, split hairs. Hangman Page, obviously. Ethan Page, obviously. And the one that nobody could get was Rampage Jackson. I said, name me 5 that had Page in their name. Rampage. There you go. See? I had it on the list. So to be fair, and I had the shout out. I copied the email from AS. So you could see. Little behind the scenes. I'm not trying to tear up the email. I still got it saved, AS. So but there you go. So now the big question is, good cast. What do you want? You want the wheel or you want the balls? Totally your call. And trust me, I don't care which one you choose. I'm trying to have the contest be easy, but make you think a little. And I thought the Rampage Jackson ones, okay, he wants the wheel. The Rampage Jackson one, I don't think it was a swerve or anything like that. Nobody's complaining, but I said Page in the name. Rampage Jackson. But I like the Kimberly Page one, and I even like the other one too. But all right, so he wants the wheel. I'm going to spin the wheel. Whatever it lands on, like I said, Amazon e-gift card, PayPal, or money order. And if we land on one of these plus spin, you win that plus whatever it is. So good luck, my friend. Can't see my legs. Thank God. Let's spin it. Here we go. All right. Okay. All right. You got $5, but you got another spin. So you got at least $5, and you got another one. See, look, there's your 5. 5 and another spin. So we spin it again. Whatever it lands on, you get the 5 plus whatever it lands on. So good luck. And I always added the spin for the really low ones so you don't get, bullshit. So good luck. $50. All right. So my man, there you go. $55. So just email me, dontony@dontony.com, and let me know how you want it, and I will send it to you tomorrow. Or maybe tonight. $55. So pretty good. Pretty good. Last week I think was 64, right? Obviously we're not going to give away a G. We don't make that kind of fundage over here. But, once a week, little trivia, can't hurt anybody. What's on my hat? Honestly, my favorite hat I left at the parents' house, but this one, yeah, I have an AEW hat. I admit it. I have an AEW hat, but I kind of like wearing it backwards. So I actually wore it the other day to pick up my prescription, and the guy behind the phone, he's like, yo, you like AEW? I said, yeah, it's all right. So, the damn AEW hat. It's got a little mesh, and it's really hot in here, so it kind of like keeps my head a little cool. So, but no, Larry, trust me, if you tuned in yesterday, I poo-pooed all over Dynamite. There was a lot of Dynamite I didn't like, so. But anyway, how long are we going? We're going about 2 hours. I think we could start wrapping it up a little bit. You know, tomorrow, like I said, I'll be back up here. We'll do the SmackDown recap. We'll do the quarter-hour ratings for AEW and NXT. I definitely want to talk about Joey Ryan. I definitely want to talk about that statement that he made. Not just about dropping the lawsuit with Primero, whatever the freak his name is. Primo Cologne. You know, whatever. Primo. What was the guy's name? Primo. Pel. Oh, yeah, that's right. Pel Primo. Like Bell Biv DeVoe. Pel Piv Primo. Now you know. Joey Ryan is such a douche. He's so stupid. Remember when all those lawsuits were filed, we told you he ain't going nowhere? He's got no proof. How? Seriously, and I say this respectfully towards him. How in the middle of fucking COVID, when nobody is pretty much working, you think that you are owed 100% pay, assuming that all these promotions would have had shows, and he didn't? He tried to sue everyone to scare them into pulling their comments back, and everybody just kept ignoring him. And then the court was like, you got to prove this shit, man. Oh, we need more time. You got to prove this shit, man. We need more time. And you prove this shit, man. Oh, I'm dropping the lawsuit because we've all been depressed. CM Punk made a wonderful comment today. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I want to read you his statement. This guy, I want to like this guy. You know, the cancel culture gimmick that he was going to do, I thought that was going to work. I didn't realize how much he took his gimmick into real life. You know, I've said it many times. I don't know the deal about those couple of women that it was accused of criminal behavior. But I'm not trying to make my neighborhood sound bigger than what it is. But believe me when I tell you, as an Italian Guido growing up in this neighborhood, I live 5 blocks away from where John Gotti lived. And going to like restaurant bars in this neighborhood in the 90s, I've talked about the wannabe gangsters, the cardboard gangsters. I talked about that story when me and my friend picked up these 2 girls. One of them had deformed feet, and some guy with this hairy chest is trying to hit on them at the other side of the room. You know, we've had people like that over the years that have the same formula. Oh, I had a bad relationship. Oh, you know, I'm so depressed, and you know, life sucks. Yeah, you know, life sucks for me too. Yeah, you know, it sucks. We had such bad relationships. Oh, I know exactly how you feel. Oh, yeah, I know. You know, it's great to be able to talk to someone that knows exactly how I feel. Want to make out? This guy was a fucking predator. But if I'm serious. If Joey Ryan, and I know some of you think this is nuts, but if Joey Ryan in the beginning would have said, look, I'm not a sexual predator, but I love women and I don't like to be alone. And I'm depressed because of bad relationships and I like having someone next to me. And that's why, you know, I did what I did. I'm not talking about criminal or alleged criminal behavior. But like I said, you walk into a club, because I saw this back in the day, you walk into a club, you lie about your job, and you lie about your income, and you lie saying that you live by yourself, but you live in your parents' basement, and you lie all these things about you. Oh, I work for this tremendous restaurant, not saying, you don't say that you're the janitor, and then somebody thinks that you're some elite person, and you get your knob wet, and then that person finds out that you're a phony. That's not criminal. That's a douchebag. That is a player. That is what we call a player. Joey Ryan was a player. If he would have admitted and say, look, I love women. And unfortunately, I guess I was playing them because I don't like being alone. I like making out. I like having sex. If he would have said those things, as piggish as it would be, I think he would have had a hell of a lot better time than he's had. Belle Biv DeVoe. Now you know. That's why I say, man, these people with these blue check marks, yeah, they got opportunity and they became athletes, stars, entertainers, politicians, executives. But when it comes to real life and street and regular relationships, they don't have a fucking clue. They don't have a clue. I'm telling you, they think that they're in this elite status, that they can just do certain things to deal with situations. He thought he could go lawsuit crazy. Scare everybody into, taking their stuff back. Didn't happen. Wasn't true. Maybe I was hurt, because I was played, but nothing. These people never will get it. Never will get it. SoFly, Joey Ryan's a pervert? I don't know. I don't know. We weren't in those situations. And I'm not defending him. We don't know. But I saw that shit a week ago. I talked about it on that little Periscope chat. That promoter, who's that promoter's name in Jersey? That everybody started outing. Oh my God, I'll never work for that person. That person should be banned for life. What's the promoter's name? Oh, I got to mention his name before we go. For people that don't know, somebody got outed as a sexual sex offender last week. Let's get his name, and then I'll tell you the story behind it. He was a promoter in Jersey. Somebody did a sex offender search. I don't know why they searched his name, but they got a hit, and they found that this guy was arrested once and was, I guess, registered as a sex offender, a wrestling promoter in Jersey. Someone's probably Googling his name now. But there's one point I want to make. Kevin Knight, is that it? I don't know if that sounds right, but the last thing I want to do is accuse someone, and it's not them. Not Dennis Carluzzo. Dennis Carluzzo was dead. Dennis Carluzzo, he died when Shane Douglas threw that belt down. Nobody knows his name. I don't want it, like I said, I don't want to throw a name out there and it be wrong. But let me get to the point. Wrestling promoter in Jersey. SoFly says Colin West. That doesn't sound right either. I would have remembered that name because I would have made something like Colin West would go south, This promoter in Jersey, somebody did a sex offender search and found it. SoFly, you said you Googled it? This is from last week? This is the guy from last week, Colin West? Why does that not sound right? Maybe it is. Anyway, sure some of you saw it. Some wrestlers, women, men said, oh, I will never work for that guy. Oh my God, thank God I didn't do this to that. I don't condone what this guy did. Okay, Larry Rover says, okay, Tony Glow says Patrick Shea. I don't know. I'm kind of afraid. Okay, now no name required says Patrick Shea. Yeah, it's probably him. That sounds a little more like it. But get a load of this. To Tony and no name required. All right, good chat says Colin West. Okay, now we have a little dilemma. Anyway, here's my point. For you guys out there who think you have the name, how old was he when he did what he did? Do you know how old he was? I know for people on audio only, this might be a little boring, but trust me. Okay, Colin West and Pat Shea are the same person. Thank you. Okay, that explains it. Do you know how old he was when he did that? And again, I'm not condoning it, but I'm going to make a point. Guess how old he was? 15. It happened in 1999. Apparently he groped, I think, an 11 or a 12-year-old. And yes, that's disgusting. I don't care if it's another 11 or a 12-year-old. You don't do that. But he was 15. 15 years old at the time. He is now 37. And this popped up. And it's disturbing and it's sick. You got to see this cancel culture going on over the last week about this guy. Again, I don't blame anybody who doesn't want to do business with. I wouldn't want to do business with this guy. I don't give a shit what age you were. You did that, it's fucked up. But they're treating this guy like he did it like when he was in his 18, 21, 23 years old. 15 years old. He's now 37. And, you know, again, the guy, you know, it's disturbing, and I wouldn't do business with him. But them saying, oh, they should lock him in jail for life. He was 15 years old at the time. I don't know what you do with a 15-year-old that does something like that. I just, like I said, it just feels like people are just can't wait to, you know, just really like go for the, I don't know, man. I'll say this. I'm surprised that it took 22 years for somebody to find out about this guy. You know, again, I want to make it perfectly clear. What he did is disgusting, inexcusable, but all these people online are omitting the fact that he was 15 years old at the time. All right, maybe somebody changes in 22 years. I mean, he was not an adult. So them saying, oh, he should be in jail for life, morally, yeah. Morally, he should pay for that for the rest of his life. But these people saying he needs to go to jail, he needs to lose this, he needs to lose his livelihood, he needs to do this. If you don't want to do business with him, I don't blame you. But to turn around and try to now go after this guy to ruin his life, to ruin his family, because of something he did at 15, you know, that's kind of, I mean, you know, I personally think groping an 11 or a 12-year-old is worse than robbing a bank. But, you know, we see inspirational stories from Booker T and others who've made some horrible decisions in their lives and redemption. You know, I don't know anything about this guy, and this guy could be the ultimate piece of shit for all I know. But, you know, let's try to keep it in a little bit of perspective here. You don't want to do business with the guy, fine. But to try to dox his information and try to ruin his family and ruin this, you want to put a bullet through his head? You know, just ignore the guy. Ban him, block him. Don't ever do business with him again. You want to let other people know about this guy? Absolutely, I agree. It's disgusting. But to turn around and to try to destroy this person's life for something that he did at 15, I don't know. I don't know. There's something not kosher about it. I don't know. You know, I'll tell you this much. I'm a little surprised that he was registered as a sex offender at 15 years old. That interested. Now, don't get me wrong. Nowadays, I get it. But I'm a little surprised in 1999 that they were doing that. You know, that's really interesting. But, you know, it's a shame that it happened, period. But SoFly says they say when he was 16, he did it. Oh, okay. And he did it again at 21. Well, here's the thing. I looked at those criminal records, and I didn't see anything at 21 years old. And I'll be honest with you. If he did it at 21 years old, after doing it at 15, 16 years old, he would have done 10 years. He would have probably done 10 years in jail. So did you actually see court documents, or are these just people, you know, I got to look into that. I did not see anything about 21 years old. But disturbing, man. No matter what, it's disturbing. So, but anyway, let's start wrapping it up. A little over 2 hours. I want to get this online. I want to be snoozing hopefully by 1:30, 2 o'clock. I got to get up at 6:30, so get my usual 4 hours of sleep. But everyone, it's been weird to look at this stuff. It's been really weird to look at this stuff. So half of it I don't remember. Watching myself do some of the stuff, half of it I don't remember. Some of it I do. And it's wonderful to have these little things stored away, blow the dust off, and just kind of like chuckle at it. So Anthony Diaz, yeah, we got more stuff to come. We have definitely more stuff to come. So like I said, I don't want to just throw it all out there in 2 months worth of shows and then we have nothing. So maybe next week we take a little break from it, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to stop still gathering, putting stuff together. Because remember, there's some promos. There's one promo that is probably one of the best ones we ever did also. I had a white Lincoln Mark 7 at the time with a crazy, crazy, crazy stereo system. I'm talking $5,000 stereo system. And we did a skit outside, myself, Grim Reaper, and Jay Lover. And we opened the trunk and we threw Vinny the Guido in the trunk and sped off. And it's all a recorded promo and it looks awesome because the system is booming. The only thing I'm worried about is I don't know what music was playing that night. It was definitely some like old school hip hop or something. And I don't want to get flagged on YouTube. So I have to obviously, figure out how I'm going to put this online, unless maybe I just, cut out the music part of it. But I tell you, it's nice memories, man, and I'm glad we could share it. I love now being able to put video behind so many stories I talked about all these years. So, and for those who have labored through me repeating these stories so many times over the years, think of this. I don't have to keep telling the stories anymore because all I got to do is just, hey, you want to see what I'm talking about? Go to this episode. You could watch it. So we finally could close the book on some of these stories. But anyway, I'm going to jet out of here. So I ask you once again before you go, if you enjoyed the show, I'd greatly appreciate it if you smash that like button. That tells YouTube that you enjoyed the show. They will in turn recommend it to others. And I had fun tonight, man. Tell you, Thursday's different vibe than the other days, and I'm liking it. And, we'll do it again 1 week from today. So everyone, be well, stay safe, be careful. AS 7607, stay strong, rest, do everything the doctors tell you. Before you know it, you'll be back. And everyone else, dealing with COVID, whether physically, emotionally, combination thereof, you've gone this far, you just got a little bit longer to go. Yes, the damage is going to linger for a couple of years, no question. But we get a little bit further and get, this pandemic over by summertime, and then we can start the healing process. It's not going to be overnight, but we could start the healing process. Trust me when I tell you, some of you out there, I know this is going to sound goofy. I have a feeling some of you out there are going to go to a movie or go to a baseball game or go to an indie wrestling event and start crying. Because that feeling of finally being able, you don't understand. Some of you out there have been vaccinated, you know what I mean. When I got the first shot and we walked out of that center, me, my mom, and my dad, there was a feeling inside emotionally like, oh my God, we're starting to get out of this. Having some protection inside, that does lift your spirits up. So, just keep sticking to it. Keep fighting. Just do whatever you can right now that keeps you happy or keeps you sane. Even if you can't work, even if you can't go out, even if you can't do this, even if you can't do that, we've gone this far, a little bit longer. So, and we'll all get through it together. Seriously, we'll get through it. But, all right, everybody. Good night. And I'll catch you all tomorrow, 10:05 p.m. after SmackDown. As you could see, for some reason, it's getting even hotter in here. So, and good cast. Congrats again, my friend. Congrats again. So, all right, everybody. Good night. See you all Friday night. Ciao.